Friday, fiber friends. Thank you so much for coming to my channel where I talk knitting, dyeing, and whatever else suits my fancy. Whether you skip around, watch every single second of me, or speed me up because I do speak kind of slowly, thank you. Every view counts. This is Yarn Twiddling number 31. And before I forget, please go ahead and push that like button. It does help with the algorithm. If you have not subscribed, will you please do so at this time? Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a great time for me to podcast. As you know, my daughter is shoveling road apples, cleaning the stalls out at her friend's stables, and my husband is visiting his mom. So I have the house to myself along with Milo and Oliver, the two cats that reside with us. Speaking of which, Milo finally, after five and a half weeks, finally got off his cone of shame. A poor guy, he had to have a cone. He got chomped on the tail back in, we're thinking at the end of February, early March. He got chomped, it got infected. There were puncture wounds at the top and at the bottom when we rescued him. And so we rescued him in March. He kind of let it heal, and then he started licking and licking and licking. And as you know, when the scab starts to grow, it kind of itches a little bit. He licked it and it got infected. So in May, we took him to the vet. He got weighed there, and she put him on a long-acting antibiotic, a shot. We put a cone on him, but it was too short. He could still lick at his tail. And sometime in the middle of July, I took him to the vet, and they gave him an oral antibiotic that had to be given every day. Well, because we went to Ohio for a week at the end of July, we couldn't give him the medication during that time. So when we got back, we started giving him the medication. He did 2 more rounds, so 3 rounds total of antibiotic with his big old cone on, and the thing has finally healed. The hair is growing back, and he gained 3 pounds since May. So Mr. McFatty Pants, Milo, is doing well, but I'm doing a lot of playing so that he could get a lot of jumping and running and all of that stuff in. Okay, anyway, welcome to my channel. I wanted to show you how I'm doing on my Flet tee. This is a test knit for Liz Clothier. I'm not really sure how to pronounce your last name, Liz. But here's what I have so far, and I'm almost to splitting for the sleeves. So yay, I will give it on a try on later on today sometime, and then I'll split for sleeves. I just want to make sure that I have enough depth from the in the yoke. Also, I'm working on this baby surprise jacket. I did have to rip out a few rows because halfway through the pattern, Elizabeth Zimmerman wants you to increase 10 times in one row, and I probably got to talking with my girlfriends or whatever, and I did not increase. I mean, it's not like me to get distracted and make a mistake. Squirrel! So that's all I have to show you for knitting this time. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about some books that I've been reading. Some of you know, or maybe I mentioned it before, that I gave up my phone, reading in bed on my phone. So at night, I would just scroll, wasted a lot of time, have nothing to show for it, and my anxiety level was just going up and up and up. So I gave up my phone on August 1st in bed. I mean, I still look at it during the day. Of course I do. I'm an addictive personality person. So I gave up my phone in bed at night, and I have been reading. Now, this is the neck light that I use, and I don't know if anybody else has a neck light. It is rechargeable. which I love. It has, you can flip it around on your neck and knit in the dark if you want to. I just turn one of these on and then I use that to read at night in bed. So here are some of the things that I've read. I finished this one. I've talked to you about this before, I think in July, Ellis Island. Lovely story. Talks about 5 different people that come over on Ellis Island at the beginning of the last century. This book was written in 1983 before they did the Ellis Island revamp. So there's a little bit of information about Ellis Island in there at the beginning. Loved the book, loved the different storylines, a little bit of language, no sex scenes other than, you know, he kissed her and they woke up the next day. Okay, you kind of assume what's going to happen. The only trouble I had with this book is that the print is so small. I had to use my extra 3.5 readers for it. But other than that, highly would recommend Ellis Island by Fred Mustard Stewart. Okay, next book. I found this one. I'm just going to throw these on the floor. Next one, I found this one at a little free library. Love Debbie Macomber. She has some nice romances. And although I'm not a romance person, these are nice getaway books. I call them potato chip reading because they're easy to read. They flow nicely. Her characters are very sweet. This is actually 2 books in one, and it's a Midnight Suns Volume 1. Now, Debbie Macomber has lots of books. As you can tell, she has like the Cedar Cove series, the Blossom Street series. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this series. As I said, I picked this up at a little free library, one of those little book things by the side of the road. And my library does not have the Alaska Nights or the Alaska Home. And there's nowhere in the state of Colorado, because I've looked, that has these books. So either I buy them or I just say, that was a nice read. Another book that I picked up at the Little Free Library is by Patricia Cornwell. Now, she's got a lot of whodunits, and she talks from a forensic point of view. Great novelist. This is one of the Scarpetta novels. So if you're familiar with her character, Dr. Kay Scarpetta, great. In fact, her character, Patricia Cornwell's character, won a 1999 Sherlock Award for the best detective created by an American author. Kind of cool. Her books, Patricia Cornwell books, are ones that I would reread again. I really enjoyed this one. In fact, I went to the library and I picked up a second one called Quantum. And this one talked about things that I knew about, which was infrared technology. I only know about them because my brilliant husband tells me about this stuff. Anechoic chambers, one of which he built upstairs, as you know. Anyhow, this was another great one. Different characters. This was a Captain Chase novel. I kind of wanted to strangle Captain Chase by the end because she was being a dum-dum about some things. But if you like murder mysteries with lots of detail about how the mystery is solved, Patricia Cornwell. Okay, throwing those down there. Another one I picked up at a little free library is called Riding the White Horse Home, which is a Western family album. This is true. This is a true story, and the gal was born and raised as one of the 4th generations on a ranch at the Iron Mountain in Wyoming. So true, autobiographical. I wasn't into it. I put it down after a few pages. Okay, this one was suggested by our book club. We have an in-person book club, I know, in person, here on the Western Slope, and they meet once a month. They choose one book and everybody reads it, and then you either go to a Tuesday night thing or a Wednesday morning thing. I usually can't go to them, but I try to read the books. This one, true story, Brain on Fire, My Month of Madness, autobiographical. This gal starts having some health problems, and she literally thought that her brain was on fire. 24-year-old, so it hit a little close to home because I have a 24-year-old daughter. And she was having some mental problems. Her family physician chalked it up to, well, you're just drinking too much alcohol. Well, she knew in her heart of hearts that wasn't what was going on. Ended up having seizures and ended up in the hospital at NYU, and that's where she was diagnosed almost a month later. She did make an almost full recovery, but her story is in here, and this one was also difficult to put down. Again, I'm reading in bed, guys, so it's not like I'm going to go anywhere. This book was also suggested by our in-person book club. Read it, loved it, couldn't put it down. I think it took me all of 4 nights to read this one. And I loved this author so much, Jennifer Hillier, that I picked up another one called Little Secrets. And this one, I read a third of it in one night and read the other 2/3 the second night. So again, some characters that have intertwining stories, and there's a mystery in there, a little bit of sex in there, if you know, but it's not, it doesn't go on for pages. It goes on for like a page. I can handle that. I don't want the 8 pages of detail. Ew. So anyhow, this one, a bunch of different people are involved with, there's a kidnapping in here of a child. That was rough. I didn't know if I was going to continue with the book, but after the first 2 chapters, I was kind of hooked on the characters. And of course, by the end, something happens and it's all good. Okay, so those are the books that I have finished. This one, I am continuing. If you ever get a chance to get a little play away, I love these little things. Inside is a little container, and you put, it's a little MP3 player. I mean, these are brilliant. You put your little headphones in there and you just listen away. Brilliant. I love these, especially when I'm cooking or cleaning around the house, which I don't do very often, but you know. Okay, that's it for book talk. In my last newsletter, I mentioned that I am discontinuing many bases. And if you don't get my newsletter, would you please subscribe? chickenladyfiberarts.com. There's going to be a pop-up that comes that says you can get 15% off your first order if you sign up for the book club, or see, I'm still on books. If you sign up for the newsletter, and that would be great because that's where I announce my sales, folks. And there might be one coming up for Labor Day. I don't know, maybe. Sorry, I just dropped my little doohickey. That is my remote control for my phone. These bases that I talk about in my last newsletter, my friend asked me at midnight, why are you getting rid of so many bases? The short answer is, I'm decluttering. I'm in a decluttering phase of my life. These are bases that did not sell well. They were my super chunky or my chunky bases, and people say, oh, you should carry that. I would buy it. Well, you know, 2 skeins would sell, and then I'm left with, you know, 8 or 10 more skeins left in the package. And so I just said, I'm just going to get rid of these. So that's why I'm getting rid of those bases. Now, if you're smart, as one of my customers is, she actually emailed me and she said, I love this base. It's the Leghorn base. Would you please dye up some of that Leghorn base? I love the stitch definition. So she ordered 8 skeins. 4 of them are in I Smell Snow, and the other 4 are in a different color. So yeah, if you need a sweaters quantity, these are already reduced. I reduced them in price for you if you order a sweaters quantity. And now, as far as decluttering, I've been kind of a mad woman lately. I've been watching a few podcasts for some inspiration, let's say, and I've been getting real with myself, and I've been saying, self, how about you get real honest with yourself, and are you really going to finish that project that you started 5 years ago? If not, rip it out, frog it, or dump it. Yeah, I've dumped some projects, meaning they've gone into the big black plastic bag and they have gone to the trash gods. So the other things that I've been doing, and I gotta tell you, this is a little embarrassing. Last week I was clarifying butter. I'm one of the strange people that likes to do that. My mother taught me, I don't know, well, 39 years ago, because that's all the older I am. She taught me to clarify butter, and I really like doing it. So while I was clarifying 4.5 pounds of butter, and that's for the bake sale that's coming up in a few months at church, I got up on a little step stool because I have some height disadvantage, and I cleaned out the spice cabinet. Now, some of these spices expired in 2015. Some of them were in bags that I got at the natural grocer's place, and I don't know when they expired, but I know that they have. So the trash gods were very happy with that donation. So I want to give a shout out to my 3 favorite podcasts that I watch. One is called The Minimal Mom. Thank you, Dawn. She's up in Minnesota A. The second one is Clutterbug. I hope that you visit the States soon and come here because you would be hilarious to hang out with. And the third one is a wonderful Gen X guy who has my warped sense of humor. His name is Nick Lewis, Lewis. Those 3 podcasters have kept me motivated and helped me as I'm decluttering. Excuse me for bumping the table here. I wanted to read some of the comments that some of you made on my last podcast. And by the way, I have not heard from Denise Mangini yet. You won this, and I've not heard back from you. So I'm gonna wait another 2 weeks, and then I want to hear from you, Denise. Okay. My friend Kristen said we had a blast visiting you, friend. Little Man. Okay, I gave my friend, Little Man, we'll just call him, the one that calls me Auntie Chicken Lady. I gave him a straw that changes color when you put it in cold water, and when it's warm, it changes back to its original color. He asked, he's still drinking with his little magic straw, and he asked when he's going to go see Auntie Chicken Lady again, because I just love her so much, Mommy. Knitting Red got a trash bag in a box that I sent her. Now, it was a clean trash bag. You can reduce, reuse, recycle, whatever you want to do with it. But she felt so silly being so happy to get a trash bag in the mail. You are so welcome. Andrea Lewis-Visser says, hi, Chicken Lady. I love your podcasts. Thank you. I love having you watch them. Happy belated half birthday. By the way, I was happy that you dyed some yarn for Ozzy Osbourne. You're so welcome. And speaking of that, I am hoping to get those packages out tomorrow. The Ozzy Osbourne bundles and single skeins that you ordered. All of the ice cream comments are making me crave it. Me too. I just went to Wally World this morning and I picked up a grocery order, and in there were some ice cream cones because sometimes you just need a little ice cream. Christina adores Goblin Glow. Thank you. SK Hoyt says that she loved watching this morning. What fun to have your little visitors. She could be a grandma, but she's not, and she would love to have some little people in your life. Highly recommend. So cute, so fun. She had a cortisone shot that worked for a while in her finger, but when it wore off, the finger was worse than before the shot. Oh yeah, I still have that little, it's kind of clicking today, that little triggery thing. Somebody wrote to me a message and said to try to take boron. I'm going to do that. I will see if that helps. I already take the turmeric and the anti-inflammatory stuff you're supposed to eat and take. I already do that. I try not to eat a lot of bread. Did the other night and kind of hurt all over, but I am going to give the boron a try. Let's see. Sometimes thrifting has an extra special gift. Somebody walked into oh, this is OK Texas Sheep Lady. I met you. How are you? Yeah? Good. Keep knitting, girl. She got an authentic Oriental rug, 3.5 by 6 feet, in perfect condition for $19. Just as exciting were 3 balls of Malabrigo yarn, one a weight lace, words are hard, lace weight single, and the other 2 sark yarn, and they're 50 cents each. For $20.50, you really made out, girl. Good for you. Deanna, thank you, Lynn. You brighten my day. You brighten my day, Deanna. Thanks for being here. And Janice says, your podcast brightens my day. I am so sorry we didn't get to meet last week. I know you were in town. This year has been the year from HE double hockey sticks, and next year will be better if you come through town. Give me a few weeks notice and we are going to make it work. Okay. Blessings to you and blessings back at you, girl. Danielle says she's going to need some chicken stoppers. Speaking of which, new stoppers are hitting the store. Maybe they're already there. I can't remember. Look under tools. But wait until Monday before you look there. Okay. Love seeing you again. Hi, Mrs. Brown. How are you? Linton is learning cursive. Great. And I've been working lots of overtime the past few weeks with 3 sick kids. I am so sorry. That's awful, awful, awful. And somebody said, I just got your sock yarn in the pirate colorway. Yay. Isn't that a fun colorway? We love pirate. Deanna Knopp, I met you. Hi, Deanna. Said the test knit tee in the linen flax is beautiful. I don't remember what I commented last time. Oh, now you know, because I saw that you commented that. My cousin said, love this, Lynn. Love you, sweetie. Blah, blah. We have glow day at school every year on the 100th day. Oh, this is Beth, pandemic knitter. Hi, Beth. Nice to see you again. I met her too. And the new Goblin Glow colorway would make for a great contrast color for a color work yoke sweater. Yes, it would. Knit Crochet Away, I came here from your latest email. Great time with you. Love you. Love you too. I know who you are. You know who I am. Okay. Wise Owl Knits. I met her too. Hi. That's Miss Cheryl, Wise Owl Knits. If you ever want a really well-written pattern, go to Wise Owl Knits. She has some beautiful stuff. She's the one where I did my wildflower tea last year, and I wore it for, well, I wore it in January at Dallas, at the Dallas retreat, but I wore it for Easter the previous year, and I loved it. I just love that sweater. I get so many compliments on it. Might have to do another one. Marsupio said that was a really excellent sale. The walls behind you do look sparse. I know, they do. I'm trying to get more up there. Lovely to catch up with you, Lynn Woldenburn. I saw that you got something for free. I believe that was from Miss Joan. And Lady Di 73, greetings from Dayton. You've lived there for 26 years. Well, I lived there for 30. So you almost have me beat, not quite. I think that's it. So, thank you for commenting. If you have any questions for me regarding dyeing, regarding knitting, regarding me, my life, what's new. Oh, I'm wearing my new shirt today. This is the Ohio State flag, which, here's a little baby knowledge blessing for you. The Ohio State flag is the only flag that is shaped like a pennant. Boy, I really moved this over, didn't I? I'm so sorry. You're not supposed to see that little table right there full of stuff. Oh well. The only pennant-shaped state flag, Ohio. 1803 is when it went into existence. Actually, did you know? Well, I'm going to say that for knowledge blessings. I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching. If you stick around, you'll stick around for all of my knowledge blessings. But thank you for watching. If you're not interested in knowledge, just go ahead and say goodbye now. Don't forget to hit the like button, and may God bless each and every one of you. Have a safe and happy Labor Day on Monday. Bye-bye. Okay, for those of you who stuck around, thank you. I forgot to tell you a knowledge blessing the last time that I podcasted, so I'm going to give you two today. The first, and I wrote these down. The first is, our daughter told us that platypuses glow when exposed to ultraviolet light. Who knew? Nobody knew until the year 2020, which I found astounding. This trait is rare among mammals, and the platypus is the first monotreme confirmed to exhibit biofluorescence. What's a monotreme, you ask? A monotreme, monotreme, is a mammal that lays eggs. Okay, outside of its body. I mean, we all have eggs, but it lays the egg outside of its body. So that's a platypus, glows under ultraviolet light, also known as black light. Okay. Second knowledge blessing has to do with the state where I was born, Ohio. Ohio, I believe, was the 17th state, founded in 1803. And Cincinnati used to be called Fort Washington because a lot of Ohio was owned by none other than General George Washington. And now you know. Have a beautiful rest of your day, friends. Bye-bye.